You're back live with us tonight here on In Focus, and thanks for staying on. Eldorado Park residents have marched to their local police station to demand action against the increasing gun violence and rampant drug abuse. Protesters claim their lives are at risk due to shootouts between rival gangs in their community. Residents claim that police have done nothing about 7 shootings in the area in the past 2 weeks. For more on this, we are joined now by Eldorado Park community leader, Charis. Pretorius. Charis, good evening, and thank you very much for your time and for joining us tonight here on In Focus. The Eldorado Park residents, we know earlier on, in fact, we reported broadly here on the channel that you are unhappy with the new police station commander coming on. Do you feel that the station commander is not up for the task of dealing with the challenges of violence and crime that is in the community?
Good evening, Chaba. Thank you so much for having me. It's not even a case of dealing with crime, because if we have to be fair, we're going to need to give him a little bit more time when it comes to him settling into his job. However, he seems to think that right now he is the be-all and end-all of what is happening in the community when it comes to resolving crimes and matters such as that. So for us right now, we're a community that strongly believes in engagement. We strongly believe in interacting with our station commander, and he has on many occasions made it categorically clear that he doesn't want to engage. So it's a bit of an issue when it comes to escalating problems with staff, which is our SAPS officers, and of course dealing with certain cases. He refuses to engage with the community, and that seems to be also one of the reasons why the community is up in arms with him being here.
Yeah. So what is the current strategy being implemented by the station commander to respond to the turf wars that you mentioned that are frequently happening in the community?
Thus far, there hasn't been much of anything when it comes to a strategy. We are not aware of a strategy. We haven't been told that, look, it is vital information that that the public would not be privy to. However, there is a strategy in place. He doesn't really engage with the community or stakeholders. It's entirely a case of, it is my station and I will do as I see fit. And the biggest problem that we have right now is when it comes to this particular police station, there have been issues in the past. There have been cases where the phone doesn't get answered when members of the community phone in, when members are rude to the public at large. So it's really just a case of how is he managing the historical problems that have been there thus far, and also how he plans on moving forward. He doesn't engage. He doesn't communicate. He feels that he is unilaterally in charge and no one can challenge him on anything. Yeah. Considering that our stakeholders have a very good understanding of the community, he just doesn't take advice and is just not prepared to come to the table and say, okay, fine, how is it that we can do this together? Because right now it's been established that it is not something that can be done on your ace. You need to be able to engage with the community and ensure that the community, trusts you to get to the bottom of the high level of crime as well as killings that we have in our community at the moment.
So how are the CPFs responding or dealing with the non-responsiveness of the station commander? How are they engaging?
Well, they are engaging, but whether or not they are communicating that to the public or to the masses at this point leaves a lot to be desired, Tabu. You must remember, apart from being a community activist, I also form part of the Elders FM, which is our community radio station staff. So, if ever information needs to go out to the greater public, we should then, of course, get that information. And thus far, information from the CPF has been few and far between.
Tell me then, what are your demands? What were you putting forward as you were marching?
Well, and I think also what we need to understand is that this was a peaceful protest, if we could even call it that. It was the handing over of a memorandum, but the manner in which SAPS came out, it was more a case of expecting violence, and that is really just not what we are about. What we need right now is visible policing. SAPS is well aware of what the hotspots are. They know where the crime is taking place. They are constantly receiving calls from residents telling them there's shooting happening in certain areas. I mean, the shooting that took place this week, Tuesday, there has been subsequent incidents of shooting and gunfire and gun violence in that specific area. And the unfortunate thing is that there has been no police visibility in that area. So it's really a concern when people pick up the phone and they say, we need help. There is shooting happening outside our doors. We are crawling on our floors. We are crawling up our staircases. What do we do? And SAPS just doesn't bother coming out to investigate or even, come and find out from the community what it is that they can do to assist.
So the residents, for example, since the shooting of Nathaniel Julius, have been asking for a total overhaul of that particular police station. What has been the response so far from the police commissioner?
Well, thus far, we have heard stories. There's never really been an official statement made by the commissioner where he has said that he is relooking his staff and so on and so forth. But we really haven't seen any tangible changes that have taken place within the police station. There is still a level of nonchalance, if I could use that word, when it comes to dealing with the public and addressing the issues that people have and the crimes that people are facing on a daily basis. What we need right now from our station commander as well as from our police station is ensuring that our people and our community members feel that they are safe. They have no trust in the police. There has been major corruption within the police itself here in Eldorado Park. And right now people are saying nothing is going to change. He is going to maintain the status quo because he feels that he's in charge and he will not change anything until he sees fit. So unfortunately, we had to get to a point where we needed to say, okay, fine, this far and no further. Enough is enough. We need someone in here who, number one, understands the plight of the people and is not going to come in and unilaterally make decisions that is going to impact on this community negatively. Because people there's no trust. And he has not done anything to rebuild the trust in the police services. He has not attempted to engage with the community on any levels. And it is sorely and sadly a case of you will do as I say, and if you don't, then I will ostracize you and I will almost victimize you to a certain extent because you are not doing what I am saying to you. I myself have been a victim of a lashing from the police commissioner himself, where he told me that I should not be handing out his telephone number, even though it was on a community intervention group. And he told me categorically that he doesn't want to be phoned. He doesn't want people to or contact him after hours. And that in itself, for me, is an issue. Because if we are not getting a service from the people on the front line, at the desk, in the police station, who do we then complain to? Do we constantly have to go over his head, which is then going to alienate him further, and speak to the regional commissioner and the provincial commissioner? Is that the route that we constantly have to take? Because ultimately, it is supposed to be a service, and we are just not getting the service that we require from SAPS in Eldorado Park, and to be fair, in surrounding areas as well.
Charis, Pretorius, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on tonight here on In Focus. That is Eldorado Park community leader Charis Pretorius. They were marching earlier on, of course, raising these issues sharply with the station commander at that police station.